you for all I know.
That's all right. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yep. Let's see if we have anybody here.
After finishing his shopping and getting ready to leave.
Let's see if I can pull it up on here. We have any visitors?
I don't see where you actually see that.
It's typically up in the top left. I don't see it though. Let me.
Okay. Okay.
If anybody's
Cream Biggins has joined us.
awesome.
Good to have you here, Cream. So I have the legend Kevin Burgess joining me today as we host this watch party for Google and Tesla. And if you guys have any other ones that may be reporting, we can take a look at those. Google is supposed to post their results at 3 minutes after the bell. And Tesla is supposed to report 7 minutes after the bell. Kevin and I were talking a little bit before. I own shares of Google. I recently bought them in May. And Tesla I've owned in the past. I don't hold it right now. I'm sure it's in an ETF or two that I hold. But Kevin, you might want to update the group on what you own here.
Yeah, so I started investing in, at least recently, in Google or Alphabet. And let me see what I started buying in August of 24. I bought 100 shares then, and then in September I bought another 200 shares, and then in November I bought some more, and then March of 25 I bought some more. So currently I have let's see, I have 500 shares, which is about 5.65% of the portfolio. So it's obviously something that I, buy into. I buy into the strategy. I think they got incredible competitive advantages throughout all of their little modules there. And the only thing really holding them back is all this antitrust stuff. So
antitrust and the threat against their search business, but they seem to be possibly addressing that. We can take a look at this chart here because it just shot up to 196 and then pulled back to 193. So it looks like maybe some good news is coming our way.
Well, that'll be exciting.
Yep, I will pull up Seeking Alpha so we can see when they post. I might, sometimes it shows up in the news feed first. So I will pull up earnings. So we should see it here. It might show up here before it shows up in the.
It's like, drum roll, you know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
Everybody's excited, man.
It is pretty exciting. I would have been doing this anyway, so I decided to live stream anyway.
Yeah, it never hurts,
Yeah, maybe even if I was by myself, I'd be okay because I'd be doing this anyway.
There you go.
Uh-oh, Google's down now.
Uh-oh.
In the aftermarket. I'll let you guys see that. You can, 189 now. Big swing, 196 to 189.
Yeah, 187 is what I'm showing now. 188.
Let's see what Tesla's doing. They're not really moving in the after hours just yet. Okay, let's go back over here and see when we can get some Google news.
Yeah. So so you bought Google or Alphabet recently, right?
Yep.
Started back in May, you said, I think.
Yeah, let me pull up my tracking sheet that is courtesy of Mr. Burgess.
Now yours
I've
looks a
just
lot better than mine.
I've just upgraded it a little bit, but Kevin provided this sheet on his live stream one day, and I thought, wow, that's a great way to track this. So I'm keeping an eye in the background over here for Google.
Okay.
But I bought 5 tranches so far. I only have 40 shares. I was a little concerned about their search business and AI and the overhang that they have with the antitrust stuff. So I've been keeping a pretty tight watch on this one, but it's been performing pretty well since I bought. Then it's up 15.1%, including 0.1% of dividends, which I haven't actually received yet. But
Okay.
when it pays out, that'll be 0.1%. So I'm about 15.1% right now.
Yeah,
There
Mike,
it
the
is.
dividend investor guy, is saying it's down over $5 now.
Yep. Okay, so here's Alphabet. They beat by 12.
That's good.
Yep, and the revenue they beat by 2.45 billion. They increased by 14 on the revenue, 13% in constant currency. Double digit growth in Q2 for Google Search and other, YouTube ads, Google subscription platforms, devices, and Google Cloud. So double digit growth in all of those for Q2. Google Services revenue increased by 12% to 82.5 billion, reflecting strong performance across Google Search and other. Google Cloud increased 32% to 13.6 billion, led by growth. So that all looks really good to me. And yet they are still down in the aftermarket.
I don't understand why it's down. I pulled up the investor slides as well. And, what I'm seeing is
You're more than welcome to share if you wish.
Okay.
Let me give you the rights here. Invite guests. Okay, I've already done that. So you should be able to share now. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my end.
I am trying to add it.
I gotcha.
It won't let me click the button for some reason.
You may have to stop sharing.
Okay.
There we go. Oops, there we go. There it is.
Bingo.
There it is. All right. So these are the, I'll make that a little bit bigger.
Thank you.
So these are the slides that Google put out for their investors. And let's look at this. Their earnings per share last quarter was $1.89. This time it was $2.31. And I think, what was it supposed to be, 218? I think, wasn't that the estimate?
Let me look. 218 was the estimate.
So they're up about 13 cents above what the street thought they would do. Yeah. Look at this, man. Revenue's almost $100 billion now for the quarter, up 14%. That's incredible. Net income is up 19%, which is about $4.5 billion additional net income. So there's the 96. Operating margin is it's flat at 32.4%. So it did not go down. That's a good thing.
Good. Yeah, it is good news.
But they didn't get any margin expansion, which is fine because they're probably investing in new things. When I look at Google Services, this is the segment that has Google Search, YouTube, the network, and then subscriptions. And Google search is up 12% year over year. That's amazing.
Yep.
The YouTube ads is up 13% year over year. Yeah, this is Q2. So this other one, Google Network, is down 1% year over year. That one continues to fall. I think it's probably in a late part of its life cycle. And then we have subscriptions are up 20%, $11.2 billion. And the operating margin for that segment is 40.1%, which is what it was last time. Here's the cloud revenues, which are look at that, up 32% versus 29% growth last quarter over quarter. So you got 10.3 billion now to 13.6 billion. Operating margin, look at this operating margin, went from 11.3% to 20.7%.
Oh, that's really good.
I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
So
I just got an alert that said they're raising their capital spend. So that may be what's hitting the price.
it's possible because it's continuing to grow, right?
Yep.
Year over year, it's up 70% in capital expenditures. But sometimes you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. People
So
that think AI won't, be a fad or something.
right.
They're not too keen on these guys spending so much money, but I think it's money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. So Mike says the IBM is down over 4% after beating estimates as well. So that's interesting. Now, it does not give any information about the future, like any projections here. That's all we have.
Now, let me see if I can pull that up in the press release. I don't see that linked here. Let me I don't see a link to the actual press release.
Yeah, I can pull that up if you want.
Okay.
This is it. Let me make it a little bigger. Ooh, how's that? I can even read that.
Mhm.
Let's see. So we've read all of that. Let's see. They got 2020 Q2 highlights. We've seen that. I'm going to see if I can just scroll down here and see where if they give a forecast.
Yeah, maybe they didn't give any guidance.
Yeah, I don't see it. There's their disclaimer stuff, balance sheets. No, I think that's it. So there's only 2 pages. They issued some debt, segment operating results, supplemental information, revenues, traffic acquisition costs. Yeah. They don't give any guidance. Maybe they don't ever give guidance.
Okay, well, Tesla numbers are out now as well.
Okay, well, I'll let you drive again if you want.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go over to Tesla real quick. So they were in line on EPS at 40 cents. Revenue, they beat by 360. And the shares are up afterwards. We can take a look at that. Looks like Google's kind of settled back out now. Let's look at Tesla. They're actually up at the moment. Okay. Cash flow at 2.5 billion. Okay, automotive revenue is down, energy generation is down, services and other revenue is up. Total revenue is down year over year. Yeah, this has been pretty well known when they publish their delivery numbers every month. Their cash decreased by a couple hundred million. If you guys see anything in here exciting that you want to talk about, let me know. They got the car deliveries. Okay. Well, we can look at their charts. Lots of pictures. Okay. Looks like vehicle deliveries were up for this quarter, but it looks like they're down pretty good from the previous quarters. Yeah, you can see that's a pretty steady decrease. Free cash flow looks like it's increased, and the operating cash flow looks like it's the second highest since 2022. If I'm reading that right. If I'm not, let me know. Okay. Anything in here you guys want to see? Kevin, you think of anything you want to see in here? Okay, let's go and close that. Go back to the chart. They're pulling down a little bit. Let's take another look at Google. Okay, they're down just a tad. I don't think that's a terrible reaction so far. So, do I have any overall thoughts on Tesla? I have been a shareholder in the past. I'm not right now. Basically, just due to the volatility. I'm a retired investor, so I really like my steady flow of dividends and capital appreciation. I don't like things flying all over the place. Tesla does a lot for increasing and decreasing your blood pressure a lot. So I'm just not an investor right now. I think they do have some potential. They have a strong following of people that are definitely believers. And I think some of their technology is pretty incredible. But I just have a hard time riding out the volatility. And that's why I'm not an investor at the moment. Kevin, you have anything to share? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there
about
we
that.
go. You dumped me out.
No, I'm sorry about that. I thought I'd just stop you from sharing.
Yeah, no, that's all
Thank
right.
you for waving.
Yeah, yeah, no worries.
What are your thoughts on Tesla?
Well, I'm not a Tesla shareholder. I just, it doesn't excite me a lot. That I know the Tesla truck is just not. I mean, I know it looks cool to some folks. It's just not. It's not. I live in Alabama, so it's not considered a truck here. So I just don't. it doesn't do much for me. I could use one around the farm because it is sunny and hot and dry most of the time. But it's just not something that I like as an investment. It's much too volatile. They don't pay a dividend, so I just kind of stay away from it. But I don't have any real good thoughts on Tesla. I just don't follow it that much. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I follow it just because it does provide some excitement for the market, but I'm just not a shareholder at the moment. And depending on how old you are, I mean, it could be a great investment down the road. It's just not very good for a 64-year-old man like myself.
Young whippersnapper.
Let's see. Did I miss any comments? Tesla did report, Cream. We took a look at those. And is there any mention of the Cybertruck expanding out of North America? I will have to take a look at that press release in a little more detail, and we can talk about that in the Discord.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Chipotle is falling. It's almost 10% down. They must have released some bad news.
We can take a look at them real quick. Let me.
Wasn't it the Chipotle CEO that went to Starbucks?
Yes.
So they've got a new guy there now.
Okay. What's the ticker? Do you know?
It would be, is it CPTL?
That's the blockchain group. Let's see.
Oh, CMG. How about that? Try CMG.
Chipotle Food Group.
No, it's a CMG. CM as in Mary.
CMG. There we go.
Yeah. Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Okay. So they missed on revenue and EPS was in line. Comparable sales decreased.
Yeah, that's probably what folks are looking at.
Yep. Lower transactions. Yeah, that's a pretty big one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, down 7%. So we can look at them. Yeah, CMG.
Is anybody watching own Chipotle?
Yeah, do you put it in the chat if you guys own Chipotle? I do not. I wish I had owned it 5 or 6 years ago, to tell you the truth. Well, let's see here. My screen went all crazy. Yeah, it is down to 47 right now. I've owned a couple of restaurants, but that's not something I tend to buy and hold. I did own Darden for a while.
Yeah, I think the only one I would consider is the steakhouse. Which one is that? Texas
Roadhouse, yep.
Yeah. That would be the only one I would consider. See if I have it in my model here. Yeah, I do. Texas Roadhouse.
Feel free to share if you'd like.
It's nothing exciting. It's over fair value by about 11%. So kind of keeps me away from it. If we have another pandemic or something along those lines, it might be a great time to pick that up.
Yeah.
So cake. Shadow Guy used to be a cake shareholder. What is that? Oh, Cheesecake Factory. Cool. Nice. Man, they're up year to date 40%. Cheesecake Factory is. That would have
Wow.
been a good one to have.
Yeah. Their menu's pretty difficult to pick from. Oh, Molina Healthcare also. I'm sure they missed on earnings, beat on revenue, and I don't see full year guidance. I'm a holder of Centene,
Okay.
and they got hit big time. I don't hold this one, but this is just like UNH and Centene, Molina. They were all kind of hit by the latest reconciliation bill. Okay, overall on the market, Cream Biggins. I have a little post about that. Thought this was kind of interesting. Ryan Dietrich posted today. I don't know if any of you guys follow him, but he's a real in-depth history on the markets for as young as he is. The S&P just closed above the 20-day moving average for 60 days in a row, the longest streak since 1998. Going back 50 years, this happened 4 other times, up a year later between 20 and 26%, never lower 3 months later. So, if we take a look at the markets overall, I'm a chart nerd. So, yeah, we're on a huge run. We're up 28% pretty much from the lows. And here's that 20-day average. This is that yellow line here. So it's closed above that. I think he said 60 times in a row. And then let me turn these crosshairs off. I have a 5-day moving average on here as well. And it's just pretty much been riding that 5-day moving average up all the way. There was 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 or 5 that I can see where it even fell below the 5-day moving average. So I am concerned about the RSI. It is currently sitting above the 70 line, which means it's overbought. Another interesting thing that I see here is you'll notice the price is going up, but the momentum is going down. That's called a negative divergence. That is just kind of a flag for me to keep watching, that we probably are due for a small pullback. Something to be, I don't think we're going to pull back a lot, but we could pull back, maybe to this 50-day moving average. We have had just great money flow for the past year. This is a 1-year daily chart. So we've had positive money flow for most of that time. That's what's causing this accumulation, which is a cumulative total of this money flow. That's what's driven the S&P to all-time high. So we have all-time high accumulation right now. So, everything's looking positive. We are overbought. We have this negative divergence. Overall, I feel good about the markets. I think we maybe due for a pullback. I don't think, unless it's some news that is going to drive something the market isn't aware of at the moment. As long as that doesn't happen, a pullback, I think about 5% would probably be pretty well an expectation for me. Any thoughts, Kevin,
Yeah,
on the
just maybe a
market overall?
couple. Yeah, let me, if I could share this little chart here.
Okay.
This is always kind of what I go back to. Is so if this is basically back to the like 1950. This is the market, overall market, since 1950, and you see all of these weird things that have happened. You got stagflation, 18% mortgage rate, Soviet Union collapse, Y2K, Iraq War, Brexit, COVID. Eh, The point of all this is there's a lot of stuff that goes on, but the market historically since 1950, so that is 75 years worth of data, has an upward trend. So I think what we're talking about here is how do we make the most money, right, in the market, and whether we think the market's going to pull back a little bit. But if this is something that I just wanted to share with folks, because if we're trying to time this, if we might be trying to pick up a nickel and stepping over a dollar bill to do it, right?
Yep.
So I would say stay invested. You can play around the edges, but if we're not invested in the market, the chances are, if we, in the long run, we're gonna miss out on some gains here. So that's kind of where my thought is. I think just overall from an economics perspective, my undergrad degree is actually in economics and business, believe it or not.
Okay.
And so from an economic perspective, and this is not political at all, but what I do see is I see jobs being brought onshore, and I see, a lot of investment here in the U.S. So, that doesn't happen overnight, right? It takes time. It takes some money, it takes capital investment, takes skills in people. So there's got to be a lot of training. But at some point, I think we're going to begin to see this economy really take off. And so I'm not concerned that I know that the market's at all-time highs and things like that, but I'm not concerned at this point that it's going to go dramatically lower unless something happens that I'm just not aware of, right? So
Exactly.
I'm bullish on the market. Can we improve our position? I always look for stocks that are a great deal, right? And I think that's what we should do as investors. But from a market perspective, if I sit here and say, is it time for me to pull out of the market? I say absolutely not, even though it's at all-time highs, right? Just because I know that in the future, 10 years from now, the market is likely to be higher than it is right now.
Yep.
Those are
Yeah,
my
I've been
thoughts.
invested for 40 years. I've never not been invested.
Awesome.
I do trim around the edges because I watch
Yep.
the technicals and I don't like to eat these 20% losses. So I can trim up to 25% of a holding if I think it's going to take a big drop and then
Mm-hmm.
rebuy it. I'm pretty good with technicals, so I feel really comfortable doing that and have a lot of data showing that it works for me.
Gotcha.
This is the S&P 500 since 2005, and I've added these trend channels on here. That kind of supports what Kevin was saying.
Let me
Yeah.
stop sharing. Are you
Oh,
showing something?
yeah. Let me do that.
Don't kick me out.
Okay. Okay, I see you're still in. All right, so here's a long-term trend channel, and I've put these lines at the top of these points here, at least connecting to at least two of them. I like to connect to three if possible. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We had a run up above that. So this line is touching 4 of those tops over the last, since 2009. Then I just make a copy of that, drag it down to the bottom. Here it is touching 2 points. So only 2 times have we gone down to the bottom of that channel. Then I make a dotted line. I put it dead set in the middle just so I can keep an eye on where the markets are currently. So 2022, we actually came down to this midpoint, a little bit below it. And then we've, basically run back up. The April tariff announcements brought us back down, but here we are almost right back at the top of that trend channel. So I'm thinking we could have a small pullback, a drawdown. But I'm like Kevin, stay invested. I may trim around the edges if necessary, but over the long term, it makes sense to be in the markets.
Google spiking up, ex-dividend dad says.
Okay, let's go over there and take a look at that.
Ex-dividend dad, aren't you supposed to be working? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
Oh, it's up 0.05%.
Let me.
Now it's back down 0.2. But at least it's not down anymore. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Okay.
He's driving home.
Yeah.
Buddy, you keep the hands on the wheel and those eyes on the road, all right, man?
Yeah, sure enough. Yeah, it looks like it's right back almost exactly where it should be.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be a big move.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of what people are expecting, right? They expected the results that we got. So it was good. I mean, it was better than what the analysts expected, but I bet shareholders were expecting it to do what it did.
Yep. I use the options market to price the implied move, and there was a 6.4% implied move.
Okay.
For Google. And if you guys are interested in how I do that, if you go I pull up Google here. So I did this a couple days ago, but you just pull up the options chain. You look at the closest expiration following the announcement. Scroll down to the midpoint where it's currently trading. You add the mid value here, 5.85, to this value here, and just divide it by the midpoint. And that'll give you an implied move based on the options. And I can show you why that's really important. Let me pull it open the way I track the earnings here. I have the implied move put right in my tracking spreadsheet. So I know what the market is expecting for Citigroup. It was a 4.8% move. It moved 3. USB was expected to move plus or minus 4.4, and it only moved 1. Now here was a bit of a surprise. J&J was expected to move 3.1, and it actually went up 6.2. So that's why I keep track of implied moves, just so I can look and see. So if I go back to like last quarter, I can scroll down through here and find only probably 2 or 3 times that it actually exceeded the implied move. So it really gives me some confidence when I'm moving into earnings on what to expect.
Okay.
All right. You guys have anything else? Any tickers you want to look at? Kevin, I appreciate you jumping on.
Hey, yeah, man. I'm glad I got a chance to do that, and good to meet folks I didn't know. So
yeah, I've been watching your channel for a long time. If you want to pull that up and share that, because some of these people are from a different Discord that I'm on.
okay.
So you might want to pull up your YouTube channel and let them know where you are. I have a lot of respect for Kevin, folks. I've been following Kevin for probably a couple of years on his YouTube. He has a wealth of information that he shares and is a very solid analyst as far as choosing stocks and thinking rationally through market ups and downs, even though he's retired as well. He works a lot, but he's actually retired. So anyway, I have a lot of respect for Kevin. So I need I have to get you to share here.
Yeah, I think I've shared it. Yeah, so anyway, my channel is called Wealth Circuit Investing, Inspiring Passive Income Investors. One of the things I'm passionate about is dividend growth investing. So we do, talk about some things over on the channel. You can see that every Monday night at typically at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, I will have a live stream. I have not been making any edited video content lately. And so I need to get over that, and I need to start doing that again. So, but anyway, the channel is you just Google my name or just search for my name, Kevin Burgess, and you should find it. So come on over and join, and not join, but just join us, and look forward to meeting some new folks.
Yep. Highly recommend it. All right. Is there anything else? Any last calls here? There's an IBM. We talked a little bit about IBM before. We can look at the price real quick. Maybe you just want to know basically about overall the company. It looks like they're really falling in the after hours market. IBM is not one that I follow very closely. Kevin, do you at all?
I used to own them, and what somebody said earlier, I forget who it was, but they said that IBM had beat in earnings, but they were down like 4%. So it's probably, and I didn't read their press release, it's probably related to some kind of forecasting. I know that there's a lot of hope built into IBM on the AI front. Because I used to, my last job was in internal audit, so it's hard for me to say AI as opposed to IA. But yeah, I think they have fallen, not because things are bad, but because it's not as good as what others I think wanted to see. ServiceNow, he also asked about Now.
Yep.
ServiceNow is up 6.4% in aftermarket. Let me see if I can find anything cool about them. That was one of I had 3 stocks that I found that I was going to do some more research on. TMO, what's it called? Thermo. It's a pharmaceutical company. And the name escapes me at the moment. Here, let me find it.
Looks like ServiceNow beat by 52 cents. On the revenue, they beat by 100 million. Now is not one that I follow very closely most of the time. Yeah, I don't see any other details.
Yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see the press release or anything on ServiceNow, but they are up 6.3% in the aftermarket trading.
Yep.
So that's good. Oh, now Google's up 1.9%. How about that?
Yeah, we can look at T. I own T. And they reported yesterday, or this morning rather. Okay. And they fell off a cliff in the after hours market, but they actually closed up 1.2% today.
Okay.
So, and everything on the report looked good with the exception that they dropped the EPS estimate by about 3 cents for the full year. And it looks like their free cash flow is going to be down this year as well compared to the past 2 or 3 years. But they're making some pretty heavy investment in their fiber distribution. They're also getting some good tax breaks because of the latest budget reconciliation bill. So they're going to take part of that and do some reinvestment in the fiber business as well. But I think the market during the market hours appreciated that. I don't know what happened here. Other than the volume is so low, it doesn't take much to move the markets in the pre-market and aftermarket.
Yeah, I'm looking at service now. I've pulled up their Q2 25 results. They had revenues of $3.1 billion, an increase of 22%, 22.5%. Non-GAAP operating margin is up 29.5, or no, I'm sorry, it is 29.5%, up 250 basis points. So, and then free cash flow margin is 16.5%, and it says approximately increase, approximately 300 basis points. So those are fantastic moves by ServiceNow. Trying to see if there's anything else worth noting, but yeah, they're doing well. Might be worth looking into.
Okay, that's about all I have. Kevin, you have anything else?
No, I think that's about it for me. That's it's been a big week in terms of earnings releases. So we've still got another day of this to go, day and a half probably.
Yeah, when I look at everything I have reporting, what do I have filtered here? I obviously have something else filtered. Well, anyway, I've got a bunch. I have about probably 20 or so that are reporting this week. It's going to be a big week.
Gotcha.
I have some tickers filtered out because I was doing some videos earlier.
Okay.
So I was trying to just keep track of what I've got going on. Yeah. So I've got a Tesla I don't actually own, but all the rest of these I do own. So I've got a bunch between this week and next week.
Good deal. Well, that's what keeps it exciting, right? It's always fun.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it, actually. All right. Well, thanks, everyone, for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. And thanks again, Kevin, for jumping in. I appreciate you and your mentorship. So, everyone, you have a great rest of your day, and I wish you the best in your investing. Thanks a bunch.
See ya.
All right.